This is Aubrey Birch with Easy School Marketing. I'm excited you're here to chat with me today. So we're gonna talk about admissions. So you took a gamble on an applicant. Now what? Okay, so perhaps last year you needed more students. You maybe took a gamble, or there was this family you thought might be a good fit, but you weren't quite sure, and you took a risk and said, okay, let's accept them, okay? This happens all the time in schools, okay? So, you accepted them, now what? Okay, so we're 1 year later, okay? So I always say when I'm working with admissions teams, let's look back 1 year ago, okay? Let's pull up all the people you accepted, and especially your gamble acceptances, and let's ask some key questions, right? Because this helps inform your admission season right now, especially as you're making decisions about applicants. So I always ask, like, how many of these people are leaving and why? This is a good question. If you accepted a lot of people and a lot of them are leaving, then there's something going on there. So definitely look at, maybe you didn't screen them. Maybe they weren't the right fit. Maybe you took too many gambles, right? This is a good question to ask. Number 2, how much energy, this is so good. How much energy did the teachers and administration spend on this family? Now, I'm not talking about, obviously, people need to check in on new families and everything like that, but I typically find when I'm working with schools that 20% of the families take up 80% of the teachers and administration's time, okay? And it usually creates like a negative environment, okay? So, if some of your gamble applicants were one of those 80-20 people who took up 80% of the teachers and administration's time, this is time to reflect and say, okay, that's good to know. Why are you reflecting? So that you can make better decisions in the future, right? Okay, number 3, did the student and family add value to the community? Were they active in the community, or did they get involved? Are they making connections? Are they making an effort to get to know you and your community? This is really good to know, because when people are connected and involved, it helps build your community and uplift it and make it a place where everyone kind of thrives. But if people are just completely removed and they just drop off their child and pick them up and there's nothing else that they're involved in, and they were your gamble people, something to consider, like, are they adding value to your community? Okay, so these questions are talked about with the admissions team. Like, from last year, you're saying, what's the outcomes of all these? Like, how did it pan out? How did our decision making from last year affect this current year's academic year and the impact it had on our teachers and administration and community? These are often conversations that admissions teams are not having because they're in the weeds constantly in the current enrollment cycle. So we need to reflect, though. Reflecting is key. So perhaps you accepted a student, and let's say that student ended up taking up a lot of time for the faculty and staff. And maybe the parents were very negative and it created a lot of unnecessary drama for your school. So now, as you're approaching this admission season and you're looking at, oh, maybe this family, but I'm not sure, it's remembering, okay, what sort of things do I need to put into place to make sure that this situation doesn't happen again? It's okay to take gambles and like stuff like that and think that you're making the right decision, but please remember to reflect, because that reflection brings wisdom that you can apply moving forward. I hope this was helpful to you. I look forward to hearing from you. How are you doing with your applicants, and how are you juggling that? Do we accept? Do we not? I'd love to hear. I'm Aubrey Birch at easyschoolmarketing.com. Take care.